So, Al, if we can keep you on for just a few more minutes, I'm going to give my last little bit of a speech, and then I'd love to ask you a few questions about your experience today. That sound okay?
Very good.
All right. So I just want to say thank you to every startup that pitched today. Now begs the question, are you, one of our viewers out there, or do you know a founder who might like to live stream pitch to an audience of more than 100 plus investors on Minnotank? We have one spot left on November 22nd to pitch to our investor network. Please visit minnotank.com to apply to pitch. I look forward to personally meeting you. If you're an investor looking to gain further access to the Minnotank community and network, please reach out to me personally at Ken at minnotank.com. Our next Minnotank pitch session is November 22nd at 2 p.m. CST in 2 weeks, the day before Thanksgiving. Now, Al, let me ask you a few questions. What did you think of today, and what did you think of your first live stream pitch moderation?
So first of all, I greatly enjoyed it, right? And do you have a way of getting feedback from the investors that are watching to see, oh, I wish you would ask this question, or that would be interesting. So any of you investors out there, if there were questions you'd like to ask, I usually focus in at, because at the end of the day, you build something, it's how are you bringing it to market, right? Because you assume they know what they're doing as far as building their technology, and that'll prove itself out. But how you're getting that a market and winning that market is at the. So I tried to make those questions around that, and do they really understand what their revenue opportunities are? Because in any model, I've always found there's always revenue streams that are going untapped and that I aren't even thinking about. Like the last one, for example, I still think in his case, I really believe it's going to be on the content and creating a platform where independent and professional content providers can provide content on a platform that, so maybe you give the platform away just so you end up with a market space to actually sell that content. Sort of like, Apple, the Apple stores and things.
Or Udemy or things, larger networks. It definitely looks similar. But we'll let them, the beauty of this is they're the founders. They're the ones running the machine. So I'm sure they'll use the statistics and decide what makes the most sense going forward. I think your introduction was really great. Let me respond from the Minnotank side. Since this is our very first run, we're trying to be very cautious in what we're doing, but also risk-taking. So bringing on 6 startups to live pitch, as well as trying to do this. We had 4 different states, if I'm not mistaken, or 5, including you. So 5 states all working seamlessly. And I'm very proud of this experience. It's been a wonderful experience so far. So my very last question is, Al, I'm not asking you to write a check right now, but if you were going to select one of our 6 companies, let me remind you which those 6 companies were that you were going to bet on in your investment thesis. Would you select?
You're going to put me on the spot here.
Oh, absolutely I am. So we have Designer Share with Sarah Perkins. We have Witfu with Charles and Tim, which is cybersecurity. We have Leaf Frey from Frey for Men, which is the tech-enabled laundry detergent system. We have Oliver Ryan from Count It. We have Danny Gowen from Fix Me. And then we have Chris Wade from Trina, who we just heard from. So in your professional opinion, putting your money where your mouth is, not that I'm going to make you write a check right now, but who would you select and why?
Okay, so they all did a really good job, first of all. They all presented well. Right, it'd be great to meet, because of course it was not the founder that was presenting for Fix
Me, right?
So I think that because as an investor, you're investing in the team. So being the guy who normally doesn't do that, he accounted for himself really well. So
agreed.
Definitely got the great job. Across. So he did a good job. But it would still be good to see that. They all have some challenges, right? They're all at different points of their. I got to admit, I was more concentrating on each one of them individually rather than keeping a scorecard in my head.
Sure.
They're all potentially good market spaces. Mm-hmm. Count Me, there's a lot of entrance into that space, but it's a huge space, and the distribution model is relatively easy to get at, I believe, and he seems to understand that. I'd still like to see the broker, because I don't think the average HR person is smart enough to think of looking. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say smart enough, knowledgeable enough to look for that solution, right? Because HR people are very smart. So if any of you HR out there, please forgive me for saying that. I didn't. I hate to admit it, but I can't decide right now. I'd have to think about them longer. But to be honest with you, I think everyone was. I don't think you can miss on any of these, actually. I think they're all good opportunities. It's just, people want to invest in things they understand. And as an investor, you should also be thinking about, I'm going to give you my money, but how else can I help you be successful, right? that's not a little thing from an investor. Usually an investor, they've built their wealth up. They're really good in a space. Man, invest in a space and then help them be successful in it. So I'm going to, I not to let you down, but I'm probably, I really can't say yet. I really would want to analyze them all a little better. But I would probably put a little in all 6 of them. That's probably the way I would go with it.
That's great to hear. So the beauty is you have the opportunity if you did want to do that. So all of these companies are raising capital. So just a reminder to the investors, and I didn't tell Al I was going to put him on the spot. That's just what I do. So what we're going to ask is, Al, I'm going to come back to you next week. I'm going to come back and say, okay, Al, we're going to do an interview. We're going to say what went wrong, what went well. And you're going to tell me which company you would have suggested. Or maybe you're going to write a check to everyone. I think they'll be really, really displeased if you do that. Okay. So remember, each and every company today on Minnotank is currently raising capital. They are all doing this and looking to search for more investors in a larger network. So they all believe in the live stream pitch opportunity, and we're so excited to host everyone. So again, Al Zeise, thank you very much. It was great to meet you. I'm going to hold you to it by getting in contact with Lane Hub, okay?
I'm definitely going to push. Okay. He is moving quick, though. He was at a pitch contest today in the state of Wisconsin, so he's got a lot of interest. You win that prize. He went from having a hard time raising money, not knowing anywhere to go to. Now he's a darling for a while. It'll wear off because he's still got to perform. But his brands, the brands that he's already representing, like Procter & Gamble and Kellogg's Foods and so on and so on, we're definitely well on our way with that one.
I agree. And then that's the point where you say to yourself, okay, when money is money, who is going to be the most strategic investor for me to select? And one of the beautiful things that Minnotank would love to accomplish is meeting men like that, or meeting founders like that who have opportunities. They're now the darling. You've received a star investment, maybe from a large firm, or in his case, a star investor, Steve Case from AOL. Now that you have the star investment to fill out the rest of your deal, you really can now pick and choose which investor you want to select is going to be the best strategic opportunity for you. And so a platform like Minnotank really stands to benefit him there, in the fact that you can reach out to hundreds of investors at once and say, hey, listen, all of you guys who are all deciding whether or not you want to invest, we only have $200,000 left. All hop on this call, listen to our pitch, and then decide at the end who wants to move forward, because we need to move forward ourselves. So with that, I will thank everyone who pitched today. Thank you very much, Al, yet again. We'll look forward to seeing you again on November 22nd at 2 p.m. Central. I hope you all have a great day.
I look forward to it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all.